Hi, my name is Dane Nelson and I'm from Black Oak Wilderness School. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to tie a figure 8 knot. Alright, so the figure 8 knot it's used for all sorts of things, but it is used a lot in climbing to tie your harness in. So I'm going to show you 3 different versions of the figure 8 knot. So the first is the standard figure 8, and what I've done is I've marked the working end of my rope in green and the standing end of my rope in red. The working end is the end that's going to actually be doing all of the work. It's going to be moving. The standing end is the end that's usually going to have tension on it. It's going to be relatively static, not moving. So the first step of tying a figure 8 is to go a little bit down from the end of your standing end and create what's called a bight. A bight is just a bend in the rope, like that, okay? Then we're going to take our working end and we're going to wrap it once around the loop, and then we're going to go back through the hole in the center, like that. And what that'll give you is it'll give you a figure 8 shaped knot, just like that, okay? The figure 8 is a very strong knot, but it's also relatively easy to untie. Now, if you're going to end up tying a figure 8 as a climbing knot, your harness is going to be down here, and you're going to want to tie your harness in. So what we're going to do is we're going to double back on our figure 8. So if you imagine that this end is tied around something, we're now going to take our working end and follow all the way back through all the way to our standing end. So if you watch how the rope flows against itself, we're going to follow it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in through this hole here. I'm going to follow that around and go over the top here. Once we go over the top, we're going to come back through to follow that edge there. And then last, all the way around back, like that, and through the top hole here. And once we're all dressed, you should have 2, 4, 6, 8 doubles, right? That's an easy way to count it. 2, 4, 6, 8, like that, okay? So that is the figure 8 standard and then double backed on itself. Like I said, for climbing, this is where you would be tied into your harness right here. The last way that we can do a figure 8 is to do the entire figure 8 on a bight, which means we're going to tie the entire knot using a bent piece of rope. So let me untie this really quick. So to tie a figure 8 on a bight, we're actually going to take our standing end and our working end, and we're going to have them meet like that. So our rope is divided in half. Then, starting at the back of our piece, this now becomes our standing end, and the bight, the bend, becomes our working end. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our bight on a bight right here. So we're going to take our 2 ropes at the standing end, and we're going to bend it into a loop, just like that. Then we're going to follow the same instructions that we did before. We're going to take our working end here, we're going to wrap around the back one time, and then through like that, and that gives us a very similar looking knot. The difference between these 2 knots, once we dress it here, the difference between these 2 knots is that when you double back on your figure 8, it's easier to tie into something. If you're tying a figure 8 on a bight, you're going to end up with a loop, but it's not possible to tie anything into it. The figure 8 on a bight is really useful for tying tarps down and creating tension hitches and trucker's hitches. Hi, my name is Dane Nelson and I'm from Black Oak Wilderness School. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to tie a figure 8 knot.